And we're off to the races. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, I'm super thrilled to come back from a nice holiday week off that I had, away from all the craziness and madness of school children, right? As it were. Super thrilled to have with me a wonderful, just an array of talent tonight. This is almost you call like a festive episode, if you will, because we are joined by the likes of young talent, good looking people with so much to give, and it's gonna and pretty much I can't imagine you were talking about the good looking people and comedy and causing a ruckus, hence why they call this a hot mess. We're going to hear all about it on Almost Famous Radio Podcast. We are thrilled to spotlight my next three folks that I really, really care for. You guys know the episodes. I have them up for all of you guys to watch if you haven't already done so. Let's give it up for Anabelle, Nate, and Tim.
Hey. Hello.
Hey.
Hello there. I tend to have these long introductions. Somebody was like, hey Jim, have you ever just put people on and then just started talking with them? Well, I don't know. I think it's counterproductive in the sense that, like, for me anyway, I like to talk a lot, so I'm long-winded. I like to just kind of, just go all out and then talk a lot about what we're gonna have next, and then the anticipation, have it killed the people, and then boom, there you are. It's fabulous. So guys, I am completely crazy about this. Let's talk about the. It's beginning to look a lot like a hot mess. This is a brand new show you guys have, and it's showcasing, I think, 3 nights, right? If I'm not mistaken. The 6th, the 7th, and the 8th. Yes.
Yep.
And it starts a great cast. There are others that we're going to talk about. In fact, I have the poster here. So why don't we go ahead and do that? We're going to have we have Jenni, and forgive me if I chop the last names, right? Hold that against me, right? For some other people I don't know. Chiaramonte, Kristen Hansen, Katie Oliver, Shaun Bedgood, Jim Hanna, Michael Spellman, Alex Owens-Sarno, Nate Mays, Anabelle Ciancuillo. Yes? Chinchillo. Tim Will, and others. Okay. Sorry about that. Chinchillo. Yes. I had it right the second time when I had you on, but I owe you, big time. This is fantastic. Now, this is the brainchild of Matt Morillo, right? He's a stand-up comedian / playwright, and he came up with this fantastic, sketch comedy deal, as it were. Tell us, how did you guys get involved with this? We could start with Anabelle, if you like, maybe. Anabelle, how did you get involved with this?
Yeah, so actually, I got involved with it the same way Nate did, actually. One of our good friends, Alex Owens-Sarno, who's a cast member, has worked with Matt Morillo before, and she brought us onto this project, pitched us to him, and we kind of were brought on together, and I believe Nate brought on Tim.
Oh,
yeah, that's true.
Shame on you, Nate. No,
well, Nate brought me onto this project. I'm very excited.
Yeah, the best projects are sometimes just you just get on board from word of mouth, people you know.
Yeah.
So Alex brought me on, and Anabelle, and I was already, I immediately said yes just because I knew Alex very well, and if she's on a project, then I'll be on a project. So. And then I read the script, and the script is hilarious. So yeah, it's super. It's good material and good people.
Okay, so I mean, and just to kind of get started with this and delve a little deeper into it. So, tell me, you get the script, and there's different sketches along with this. Will this be an hour-long show, or can you give us a breakdown, Tim?
Yeah, it depends on crowd reaction each night. Depending on that, like things might elongate a little bit, but roughly about anywhere from like the 70 to 90 minute range. I want to say more like 75 on average. but it's going to be really good because breaking it down, you have a little bit of everything. You got stand-up going on, you got independently written sketches that are happening, performance, a longer sketch to wrap up the show at the very end, lots of chaos, lots of fun, lots of comedy. So it'll be a really immersive show for everyone to see, with all types of different artistic things being represented, as well as like different lights and genres and things that were kind of breaking in between. So it's like every 10 minutes you have like a new thing to keep it festive and fun, and it'll be really good.
Far out. I really love the dynamic of, like the stand-up comedy. It's very vulnerable. I mean, to stand up there on stage all by yourself, lay it all on the line, if you will, and then make sure that you have the right timing. From the three of you guys, I know Anabelle. If ever I catch you online, or on the Insta or whatever social media is, you're usually on a bungee rope. You're hanging out somewhere, doing some pretty amazing adventurous thing. And then I see you guys, and Nate and Tim are always spread out taking pictures and the modeling thing. And but stand-up comedy, I didn't know that you guys had it in you. Now, Anabelle, did you do stand-up in this, or any one of you guys have done this before, stand-up, or is that not what you're going to be doing?
So we're actually in the sketches. So
Sketches.
there are a few guest artist stand-up comedics that are well known throughout LA.
Okay.
Which list I do not have on me at the moment. But they're different each night. They're all great. We are in the sketch portion. So all of our pre-written sketch comedies, performances that we're doing. I have done my first stand-up comedy I ever did in my life. I did at the beginning of this year in New York, because I thought it would be a great idea to try stand-up in a state where no one knows me.
Fantastic. Love it. I want to hear all about that real quick. Obviously, we're here to showcase everything. I want to know, what was that like? Did you have any training? If so, did you learn the recipe? Because there's a recipe for stand-up. People don't know that. And maybe you make it seem like it rolls off your tongue very nicely, and like you're just kind of like on the go. You're just organically spitting these words out. But no, all this stuff is usually a training that we do, and tons of training that goes involved. Did you train with someone, or did you just sort of go out there and lay on the line just to, just got a few jokes of sorts of people?
I took a very big risk. My friend who does comedy wanted to do an open mic, and so he went up and did an open mic. And I jokingly was like, guys, should I go up and do it? Like, should I do something? And I did end up going up and doing something completely unplanned, have had no prior training in comedy specifically, but it actually went really well. And it actually has led me to thinking that I probably should take a class and get some proper training, because I think I might enjoy doing that.
Yeah. I got to tell you, I do remember now us briefly talking about this. Remember? I do remember it now, while that we were talking about Flappers, and you're like, this other place. And I was thinking about dabbling in that, as I had it once before, a long, long time ago. For me, I did 5 minutes, and I felt that, I was rushing. I mean, clearly I have ADHD, but when you're doing stand-up, you do like almost like beats, like we're actors. So, you do a beat, and then you wait for the reaction of sorts, and you hear no clap. You go on to the next joke because that didn't land, and so on and so forth. And for me, I got like maybe 2 laughs. I was invested in getting people to come that can laugh, can provide the laughter, so that I wouldn't die on stage. So yeah, that's something that I've been giving, honestly, I thought about January. I'm going to start probably doing stand-up, guys. So I very well we'll be inviting you guys, and hoping to God that you guys make it out, and then, maybe we could collaborate. Anabelle, what about the gentlemen down there? I mean, Tim and Nate. You guys tried your hand at stand-up yet? I mean, is that something you've thought about, probably, perhaps throwing your hat into, or not yet?
I have thought about it, and I do plan to do it in the future. Personally, my mindset with it is I'm waiting to get some more years under the belt before I venture into that, get some more life experience, get some more, because I like the idea of speaking anecdotally. I've had quite an eclectic life that I feel like I can draw from for some of these jokes and things. I have gone to comedy shows. I have friends that are comedians, and I've went with them backstage. I've talked to them about their process. I have gone with them to shows and heard about like their journey and how they got into it and things like that. So I'm keeping myself immersed in the culture and the community, but waiting a little bit and focusing on other artistic venues right now until I eventually get into that, maybe like 5 years from now or something. But definitely would love to, because I feel like it's something I feel connected to in a way. I love connecting with audience. I love telling stories. I mean, we're actors, so we all are telling stories.
Storyteller.
I think that would be, and I think that would be something I definitely see myself doing in the future.
Fantastic. I can hardly wait. I'm sure you're gonna be fine at whatever you do. You're my friend. You're super talented.
Yeah, it'll be fun and exciting. And I think I'm gonna take a page from Annabelle's book and probably start in New York so I can go completely somewhere where no one knows me and start in like that scene and stuff.
Great job, Annabelle.
Yeah.
New York. It's fantastic.
It was a good trick.
Mhm.
It is a good trick of the trade.
Yeah, it's smart.
That's what it is for me.
What about you, my man? Nate?
Yeah, I'd probably do it to mark it off the list. I love listening to comedians. Dave Chappelle, Theo Von. There's a lot of just Tom Segura. I love those guys. So I just because I'm such a fan, I would like to see what it's all about. I think I'm more interested in writing sketches and doing improv comedy.
Kind of long form, right? Long form.
Yeah, I think I'm more interested in pursuing that as a creative side task that can also obviously help with film industry. But working at the Groundlings, and that's another reason why I really wanted to do this play, is because
didn't mention that
it's a long form comedy sketch. I was like, oh, that's just, it's a blast, So any type of comedy is a blast, but especially something like this.
Now the holiday shows, I mean, they aim for like coziness and silly cuteness kind of thing. This whole thing is a departure from that, right? It's a hot mess, as I said. I mean, can you think of a hot mess, something that happened in your at your like banquet or party, as it were? I'll have to talk to all three of you guys. Start with Annabelle. At home that could have been written into a sketch.
If I could tell a story of when there was a hot mess.
Yeah, it was just completely crazy, insanely chaos breaking out in the kitchen. Maybe there's so many great ones. I know we all have.
Oh man.
I'll tell you one myself, and it's funny, but I invited this guy over for dinner years ago, and I had my whole family here, and there was other family members there making out from Utah, and I invited this like total stranger that I just met not long ago, and then I thought this person is totally, for some reason or another, they were just quite like very far different than yours truly, and that they didn't open up. And boy, when they opened up, it was a Pandora box. It was like, what the hell? On the kitchen table, who brought this guy is what people are thinking. And I'm like, I did all right. He's a good dude. He means well. And then when the whole thing is just said and done, because then the politics started playing into it. And then there was politics being spoken. And then people were arguing. And it all started with this guy. And then he excused himself to use the bathroom and sat down in the corner. Everybody else was just, I don't understand why you think that way. And the culprit was over there in the corner thinking in the back of my head, holy mother of God, what did I do? That was just a crazy thing. It could have turned into a show,
That's fun.
That's what you guys. I mean, anytime my aunt shows up to the party, it's you never know what's gonna happen. So it was pretty tame this year, but yeah, it's just it's always fun when you have, and my dad too. I mean, we're all very outspoken we speak our mind. And so when you get a bunch of different personalities in a room that aren't afraid to say whatever they want,
Rock the boat, right?
Yeah. And she's very gullible, so I love. It's all out of love. If you're watching this, Aunt Pam, I love you. It's really fun when someone's gullible because you can really mess with them.
Yeah, you're playing. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Thought about
All
something.
good. You jogged some memory for me. I was going to add to that not anything for me with Thanksgiving, because with my family, things tend to be pretty tame, honestly, pretty chill. But I have, since high school, been going to a lot of Friendsgivings and going out with friends right before Thanksgiving or right after. And I remember one year, I'll never forget this year, a bit ago, it was freshman year of college. Me and all my old high school friends, it was about 20 of us, wanted to get together since we haven't really seen each other since high school. And two things happened during that giving that was a little off. One, we have a chef in the group named Anthony Brienza. If you're watching this, you remember this story. And that year, I guess there was not a lot of clarity in who's bringing what in our group chat. So we had all types of desserts: pumpkin pie, apple pie, ice cream, whipped cream, waters, sure, you name it. And we only had two entrees, which was wings and I think not even entree, wings and like a mac salad or something. We had no food, and we had a bunch of dessert. So that was one. It was for 20 of us. So we had a lot of leftovers and a lot of sweet tooths that were satisfied. But on top of that, going back to Anthony, he's a chef. He loves spicy food and he loves making meat. Like I said, he made wings. He told us he was making hot wings. And what he didn't tell us that he smothered all the wings in the last dab. For those that know it, you know. For those that don't, let me tell you, that's the hottest hot sauce in the world. So he smothered it. And we all took our bite. And he hid all of the dairy items slowly while we were at our Friendsgiving. And he put it in his car. So we didn't have anything to wash it down other than water. No one wants to drink water for that. That makes it worse. So we were all like, in our own stupid, friendly way, like crying, snot coming down our faces, washing our eyes. Runny noses. Yeah, I touched my eyes and I was like watering even more. We were like holding each other, but fake crying, real crying, rolling on the floor and it was painful in our tongue going down. So that was a fun 15-30 minutes. That was a very bonding 15-30 minutes.
I bet. One you'll never forget. That's an epic one.
that's a little sitcom moment I could see happening.
Totally unhinged. I love it. Wow. Talk about embracing the chaos here. I have a question regarding the creative process in terms of, let's talk about the characters. What are the characters like? Who do you play? Anabelle, if you can, and Nate and Tim. Take us there. What was it like to create these characters? How'd you flesh them out? And the period of time it's been since you started. From day one, you got the script. How long has it taken? We'll start with you, Anabelle.
So I play the main character's best friend. Okay. I guess the character, the script is kind of centered around, because I don't know that I feel like everyone is kind of a main character in their own way. Right. But sure. I play the best friend. Okay. And my character is, someone that is very bossy and very opinionated and also very fun and chaotic. And she kind of makes everyone else's life a little bit harder. We got the script. Well, we got the first draft of the script about 3 weeks ago. And then it's gone through a few different drafts. So our final draft we got about 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago. So it's kind of been a quick turnaround of getting in the space, doing rehearsals, learning our lines, and getting it up and going. I mean, the luxury of it being, a sketch comedy and being short form rather than, I guess, not super long form as opposed to a full play. is that it moves quickly, so we are able to pick it up really quick. And
Good.
we all are lucky enough that we've had the flexibility to work with each other as much as we have recently. And
Very cool.
so, yeah.
Wow. What about you guys? You guys,
Yeah.
what do you guys
So
play? What characters do you guys play? I'm interested. I'll be there, by the way. I'll try to make it one of the nights. It's 8
Oh,
o'clock.
Thank you.
so my character is Christoph, and I am, in my own way, very different from Anabelle, bossy as well. I have a bit of an internal temper, and that gets pushed and played around with in different ways throughout our scene. And at the very end of the scene, I definitely switch gears and switch lights in a way that I will not reveal, but there's a lot of juxtaposition that's played with. I have my own type of relationship with Nate here, who I work alongside for the scene that we're doing. And for Barry, and like Anabelle said, I feel like everyone's their own main character in their own right. But Barry, who's one of the centered characters for the scene happening within the scene, I have a very strong relationship with, which is funny and revealed throughout the play. And it's really interesting to play that. For me, speaking with my character specifically, I have a lot of interesting relationship dynamics with every person, as well as with the scene happening in itself. So it's been a really great process for me in such a quick turnaround to really step into the characters, step into what am I doing, why am I doing it, and really just leaning into the comedy of it all. And because we were playing all of ourselves very seriously, and that's really where the comedy comes from, is that we're so committed to our scene and what's happening in it that it's just, there's absurdism that's happening at any moment. It's one of those things where like this happens, and you can't even, there's no room to take your attention away because there's always something happening at every corner of the room. So very absurd, very funny, very much a hot mess as proclaimed. So.
Yeah, everybody has really good comedic timing, and the story is really, I mean, it speaks for itself. I mean, I've been to some comedies where it's like, oh, come on, this is a drag. But I mean, obviously I'm biased, but the way it's written, I mean, there's really not a beat that I mean, you're going to be on the edge of your seat the whole time. It's really, Matt did a really, really good job. And the reason it's so good is because, you know, what we're talking about, the characters, there's so much just attention to detail, and every single character is moving the story forward in a really, really funny way. So I'm really happy to play my character, Spencer. He's kind of reminds me of the classic Nepo baby, but like not like the Jake Gyllenhaal Nepo baby. Like well, I shouldn't name
like
anybody.
the douchey one.
Yeah, just like someone that's like really thinks that they have they're talented, that they inherited that. No, they just inherited the money. So I'm gonna have a lot of fun playing him. He's just really, you know, kind of entitled and but you know, from a empathetic perspective, he's very proud of his work, and you know, seems like it's a very classy piece of art. But I think the audience might interpret that as different. It's maybe not the classiest piece of art. So
they will, yeah.
But
I like that you guys have mercy on your characters, and I love that. I love that.
Try to humanize them a little bit.
I love the connection between the both of you guys. I think I'm invested 100%. I'm giddy about watching all three of you guys in it. I mean, of course, in a biased way, quoting you, Nate. The fact that I know you guys, I had you on the show, and you know, I feel like in a way I'm indebted to. All right, let's see what you got, guys. No, kidding. I want to see the art just unravel right before my eyes in such a funny and chaotic way, and just be able to see the drama that, you know, that all this is gonna unfold. Truly masterful, you know, I'm sure. Mr. Matt Morillo, right? He's the guy, the playwright. He's also he does stand-up comedy also, right? It says I think it's fantastic when you have all those different angles. You're able to feed the characters correctly, and then you guys are obviously going to flesh them out and bring whatever choices you guys are going to bring. So that's going to be fun to watch in real time. So I'm really excited about that. What are some of the has there been any comedic or challenges at all when you create these characters? We'll start with Annabelle.
Um, yeah, I think, the one thing, like, remembering that with comedy, like anything else, it's very easy to fall into a trope, and
Mhm.
to remind yourself to play the reality of the situation as true as possible and allow the
Right.
comedy to speak for itself. Um, I think that's something that I've been learning along the way and working with. And then, you know, with a turnaround in a holiday week, the lines, just being ready and prepared has been a little more of a kind of exciting challenge of, oh,
Yeah.
okay, instead of memorizing just one scene, as we're used to, for, or chunks of scenes at a time for on
Sure.
camera. It's been a
Right.
long time since I personally have done a live performance, so this is the most amount that I've had to memorize in a long time.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's great. And like you said, it's exhilarating, the excitement, and then obviously, the story is well written. Clearly, all the characters are well written in such a way where I'm sure it helps you follow along and kind of find your place. What about you guys, Nate and Will? Why don't we
No,
yeah,
I'm just piggyback off of what Annabelle said. I totally agree with her. Yeah, I'm not playing any trope. This is always important in comedy. Just realizing, oh, this is funny. Just playing the reality of what it is.
right,
I think that's
right.
really what it comes down to.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is. I mean, she's right. This is such a fast turnaround, and I'm not an actor that complains about memorizing lines. But it's been tough. This is it's a big one, and it's holiday season too, so everyone's traveling, and so that's probably why I have these bags under my eyes. I've just been really, going over everything today because we're supposed to be off book tomorrow. But that we signed up for it. That's the job, and we're that's better than going 9 to 5 tomorrow.
True, true. And adding to both of them, the turnaround is the biggest thing for sure. And I think everyone has their own thing that they're focused on, depending on the character more than others. I think
Sure.
some are more focused on lines because they might have bigger monologues or
Mhm.
more discernible lines where they have to say different things. For me, my
Mm.
lines are not as much of a difficult point for this time around because I do have a lot of repeated lines, but done in a different tasteful way. The thing that's been more of my focus is thinking about my relationship to everyone else and how I'm going to play the beats because we all have our own character motives and quality that we're bringing into the piece. So playing into what I'm supposed to do in service, as well as playing with those beats of silence, the beats of, okay, the focal point is this part of the room or this person or this moment, and like really leaning into that.
Mhm.
That's the part that I've been really focused on for me is like leaning into those beats. So especially because of the turnaround, it makes it so you have to put real intention into every moment that you have to practice all together because every moment that you have and is an opportunity to grow in a certain aspect, whether it is the lines, the relationship, the beats, etc.
Interesting. Now, that said, what are some of the, let's talk methodology. Like, what kind of methods you guys use to learn lines? You guys do like audio. Some of us, are more auditory. Some of us, or do you just kind of do it all in terms of like, do you listen to it in the car? Do you have, obviously there's apps. Do you study it like 100,000 times? Annabelle, what's your method?
All of the above. I was being made fun of at Thanksgiving dinner because while everyone was eating dessert, I was on the couch, and I do something that when I memorize lines, I'll look at the page and then I'll look up off of the page and like go through it. And I kept doing that. And my sister-in-law came up to me and was like, "What's going on here, Rain Man? Like, what are you doing?" And so I think it depends. It also depends on, I've used different modalities based on how many lines I have in the scene and who's in the scene and what characters are in the scene. In the beginning, it's a lot of one-on-one with me and another character. And then later on, there's a lot more characters and I only have certain interjected lines. And for those, I have to listen to audio and then hear my cue line and then kind of remember what line I'm actively really listening for to know that that's when I come in and where it's appropriate for me to interject.
It's classic, kind of. That's funny. I forget that. That was good. What about you, gentlemen?
The modalities is a big one for sure, because depending on two things, environment or what the script is specifically asking for me, I'll have a different method of memorizing. I know for me, in general, I tend to be better at memorizing longer monologues more specifically, because I place myself in what am I doing in this moment, and then I'll just kind of go line by line over and over again, and that tends to be smoother for me. But funny enough, the thing that's actually harder for me is transition words. So when let's say I have a dialogue and I start my next thing with saying how and then what and then why, like trying to remember those little words, like, oh, I have to say this, then this, and this. Like I'll practice saying the transition over and over and over again, just so I can really make sure I get that down. So if I have transition words, I'll just say it over and over and over again. But if I have a longer monologue, I will say like the whole thing and I'll place myself in that moment, like in the car, like I'll think about where I'm standing and stuff. Or if I'm in person, I might try to get it like somatically memorized in my body, where I'll walk into the part of the room and then I'll like pretend I'm doing a certain motion just so I can remember like right away in my body, oh, I say this when I do this for live performances and such. Yeah, for those bigger moments where we have a very intentional blocking. So a little bit of everything, depending on what is needed.
No. Man, I'm learning here. I think we're going to learn, a tidbit or two. I enjoy doing this because I like to not only put you on the spot, guys, but it's very important as actors to help one another, as it were, and showcase and tell people like this is acting. It's not just memorizing some lines and just spewing them out. To let people know it's work. There's work involved, lots of toil, long nights, where you're up trying to remember, because when you're supposed to be off book, and there's times where they switch things around the very last minute. And so you're most definitely, it takes a lot, a lot of reading and memorization. So it's very key to people specifically when they watch the show to learn about my actors and my people, and to know that I do that a lot of times also, people to learn, but more so to see it's just like the thing I want to do, is this really what I like to do, or it's not like it's not cut out for everyone, it's not a thing where I could just be an actor tomorrow sort of thing. It takes a lot of dedication and most definitely a lot of toil. What about you, Nate?
A lot of repetition work. Yeah, I feel like when you're prepping for a film, if you're lucky, you have a little bit of time, and you really go over just knowing exactly what you have to say when working on the subtext of what you're saying. What does this line mean? So you're not just reading off of a page. Well, then when you really do the work, I think it's really easy to memorize things. With a play, it's a little different because you have to get it right. You only get one take. You're on stage, and so and with the time frame you have to learn the lines, it's just a lot of repetition. Really understanding the through line. That's the person that speaks before you, and just repetition.
Yeah, it's important. And one of the greatest things about being on the boards, as they say, is to be able to, each time it's organic, you bring something different almost to the table. Does it feel that way for you guys when you guys do rehearsals?
Definitely. I think it's the biggest thing. I grew up doing a lot of plays before delving more into film. The biggest thing for me, that is a big difference, other than the memorizing and the fact that you're doing it night by night, is you got to play with the organic chemistry that's happening that night in that room, whether it's a big group scene or whether it's a one-on-one scene that's happening on stage. Some nights anger might come out a little more explosive or quietly, and you can't play the same note every time because then it's not truthful. So you really do have to play with what's happening in the room and be earnest and honest with that, which compared to film is very different, like Nate was saying, because with film you can do another take. You can play, oh, that subtext didn't really feel natural. Let me actually lean into this more. Like in that play, you gotta really play into what's happening in that moment.
Just roll with the punches.
Yeah.
And, feel the vibe in the room, and yeah, most definitely, I agree with you. So go ahead, Anabelle. I'm sorry.
I think specifically with this show too, because not much was given for stage directions, character breakdowns, or anything. We really have the ability to craft our characters and make them our own, and add our own flair to how we want to play these characters, which by doing so can enhance different ways of how we're reacting every night. So I think that's been a really fun challenge.
Blessing, right? It's great. Yeah. And in terms, I'm just thinking, like, any BTS behind the scenes moments that stand out to you thus far? Are you guys, like, anything funny, anything like, wow, this is like by far one of the funniest moments?
Well, there's definitely some funny things that happen, but if we share them, we might ruin it. So I think you have to wait to see it.
Okay.
I think what I can say is I think people will be pleasantly surprised by the roller coaster that they will go through. It's not an expected roller coaster. There's a lot of twists, turns, loops, things like that. A lot of different types of comedy.
Dude, I am so invested. You guys have me literally at the edge of the bed here. I definitely want to. I really am invested in the whole thing. I mean, granted, you guys have worked hard, at this, and I want to go check it out. Now, can we get tickets online or at the box office? Well, clearly at the box office. You can, but can you do this online these days, or how does that work?
You should do it online. There's links posted all over our social medias.
Okay.
If you're able to add it in the YouTube comments, that'd be great too. Don't count on the box office because Sunday is already sold out completely. So Friday and Saturday, Friday and Saturday we have spaces open, but definitely want to buy your tickets ahead of time.
As soon as you see it, as this interview comes out, click on the link, go right away, purchase it when you can, because as Nate said, we're already filling up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a small house, so it's and it's in a black box, so I think they're mostly selling the tickets online just because they are going quick.
Okay, give us your social media handles, guys, and then your last thoughts before we wrap it up. Go ahead.
My social media handle is Anabelle Ciancuillo, and my last thoughts are: come if you want to laugh, and come if you don't want to laugh. I don't know. If you come anyways, if you're a fan, come. If you're not a fan, tell your friends to come.
Or you will become a fan, right? Once you get What do you guys think? What about you guys, Nate and Will? Social media handles, guys.
Handle is on Instagram, Nate J Mays. I'll post a lot about the show, especially as we get closer to it. And it's a great show. It's a really, really, really good show. We got some talented people behind it. It all comes down to the story, and the story is really phenomenal. And it's the holidays. I know things are slow. People are getting ready for Christmas. So this is the perfect time to just come see a comedy and laugh your ass off.
We need laughter, brother. We need laughter in the world for sure.
We do.
You, my man.
Me too. And you can find me on Instagram at TimWillOfficial. And I also will be posting about it as it gets closer. And last thoughts I want to say is that this will be the first of many, because we have this coming up and it's going to be such a fun weekend. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. And Matt's going to be putting on even more shows as the seasons roll along, as the months roll along. So this is the first of many, but you don't want to miss out on the beginning, because themes are only going to increase, things are only going to layer. Like it's going to be a really fun start of much more to come. He's definitely pioneering an artistic style that is so entertaining. So I'm really excited for people to experience this.
I'm excited. If I do stand up, you'll probably see me in one of your shows, right?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Annabelle and I would jump on there and do some stand up as well. That would be
That's
great.
right.
Eventually, I'll definitely hang out with you guys long enough so that I can do some stand up. Guys, you're a blessing to me. You're a treat to the world. I can hardly wait to see you guys. Once again, what are the dates? And I'll be trying to post something up as soon as I post up. It's going to go up very soon, by the way. What are the dates?
December 5th, 6th, and 7th. The 7th is already sold out, but the 5th and the 6th are at 8 p.m.
There you have it. Almost Famous Radio Podcast with yours truly, Jen Francis Mason. Beyond excited to have had you on the show. Guys, let's make this a habit. What do you say?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I look forward to it.
Always a good time, Jim.
Keep on rocking in the free world, guys. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Once again, take care. Bye now.
Thank you.